And I'm sure everyone can relate with this. I hate going to a group project and then doing everything while everyone is telling you to do stuff, telling others to do stuff, but then themselves are never doing anything. Meanwhile, you're quiet because you're too focused doing stuff to tell other people to do stuff. That's me like 99.99% of the time. When I was on Lens, I don't want to... Okay, if you guys ever watch Lens, you're going to know the producer and the writer. I'm not blaming them. They're my friends, alright? I'm not saying... You know, I'm not trying to roast them and then say that they're bad people. No. These are my good friends. The director and producer of Lens, right? But there was a moment where... Okay, I was focused on Levslayer for 2 weeks because there was PAX, okay? So I did Levslayer for 2 weeks without doing Lens. And I got back to Lens, and this is exactly the project that I had to do the visual effects on, that I said, I couldn't do the visual effects, like the impossible task. This is exactly what right? I told them to generate, here's a shot list. A list of every single camera angle that's going to be in Lens that I have to work on to add visual effects. The film itself is, think of Ghost in the Shell and Blade Runner. So it's Neo-Tokyo, flying cars, neon signs everywhere, Japanese stuff, Asian neon symbols, etc, etc, etc. All that I have to do by myself. It wasn't a hard task for me. I just needed a list of shots of what you want me to do, and then list how important each and every single one of them are. So importance level is green for the movie will not work without this shot. Yellow for it'd be great if this shot is done. Red for aesthetic appeal only and no other purpose other than looking good. I would do everything green, then do everything yellow, then do everything red, in that order. Because that means that even if I run out of time, the movie will still work, because I'm pretty sure I can get all green done. So I made that list, and I made it very clear that, okay, I'm only allowed this much time before the end of the semester, so I can't guarantee that everything will be done. But I'll try to get as much as the impossible, the important stuff done. Okay. Director says okay. Producer says okay. Okay, we're good. We're on the same page. I go do Lev, right? All of a sudden, they come back to me with a whole new list of shots that weren't on the original list. I go, whoa, hold on. Where did this list of 20 extra shots come from? How? Nobody told me about this. I'm the visual effects supervisor. I have to be on set supervising what you guys are doing to make sure that the VFX can be done. I was not on set. The green screen was gray. It was gray. Because I wasn't on set to supervise it. I'm not going to say that if I was there, it wouldn't have been great. I might have made a mistake as well. I'm not blaming the person who did the green screen. I'm just saying somebody experienced there should have called that out. Okay. So I get 20 extra shots. I'm like, give me the importance list now, ASAP. I need to do all the green ones, fast. They give me the importance list. Green, red, yellow. Okay. I get all the green ones done. And then at some point, they start piecing the edit together. And they're showing it, and the teachers are like, hey, why is that shot missing? Why is that still on a green screen? What's going on there? And they're like, oh, Julian's gonna get to that in a bit. I'm like, I'm not sure if we have enough time to do that. You may be better off removing that. They go, sure. Next week, it's still there. Lecturer, hey, why is that still there? They look at me, they're like, Julian, I'm very confident in your skills, but can you do that in time? Do you think you can do that in time? I'm like, yeah. I say to the lecturer because I can do that in time, right? I've got enough time to do everything, theoretically. So I tell my producer, I'm like, hey, man, we said the important stuff needs to be done first. I'm still working on the important stuff. Might be a good idea to start cutting that yellow and red stuff out because that ain't needed. He goes, okay. Third week, still there. Same comments, same conversation after the class. Fourth week, 1 month passes. I go, hey, have you removed that yet? No, it's still there. We have 2 or 3 weeks left before the airing of the film. 2 or 3 weeks, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, I don't remember. There are 20 incomplete shots. All the green ones are done. I can start working on the yellow ones. I don't know if I can do 20 shots. I start saying, hey, guys, I don't know if I can do 20 shots. I've said this in the very beginning. I'm not sure if I can do 20 shots. You gotta start cutting that out. I've said this to you for the past month. You gotta start cutting it out. You haven't cut it out. They go, we can't cut it out. I go, why not? Because as an editor, I can delete that. That would be perfectly fine. Hey, I don't mind sitting in the room with you and helping you edit that, even though I'm not the editor. You don't even need to give me credit for not being an editor, for being an editor. I can sit in the room with you and we'll cut that out. I'm not concerned with what I'm doing. I'm concerned with how the final fucking film looks, right? We can't have missing shots, bad actors, and whatnot. Get rid of that, right? And so they say, hey, editing is not your field right now. I'm the editor. Don't touch my editing. You do your job, because otherwise you're lazy. I'm like, man, I've just done 10 shots in quick succession behind the scenes. I've generated a whole list of you to keep everything in order, which you filled out, and now you're saying that I'm lazy. I didn't bother arguing with them. They're the director. As I've said a million times before, as an editor, you don't argue with nobody. The director's your boss. You gotta listen to the director, right? So I didn't argue with him. I said, okay, I tried to reason with him. I go, okay, look, listen. We've generated this list before the semester even started. I told you I'm generating this list. You filled out the list. Why are we suddenly ignoring this list? They go, you just want to avoid work, so you're not working on it. I go, okay, look, I'm not trying to avoid work. I'm just saying, I've made the schedule. I could do it. I could do everything that you tell me to do. The 20 shots, easy. I could do it. I'm never gonna say no, right? Because someone else is gonna say no. I'm gonna say yes all the time because I'm gonna get the work done, right? I don't care. I can get as much work done as possible. But how can you just ignore the list that I made, that I generated to keep everything in order, and then call me lazy? I don't get it. So then I get the 20 shots done, no problem. I get the 20 shots done within 5 days or whatever, right? It's typical me, because I sprint everything. All right. Cool. I get everything done. The film looks good. All of a sudden, there's an extra shot that's not done. That's VFX heavy. I go, okay, I'll do it. I got extra days. I'll do it. Done. Okay, send it into them. At one point, the director, I believe, the editor tried to do some visual effects of his own. The editor is also the director or something, right? Like the director producer roles, they're like 2 people, but they're all in and of the same. So he makes the visual effects. Right? It's a signboard. Imagine this TV behind me. That's like a big neon sign on the edge of a building. I've been doing all of those. I've been doing them fine. He tries to do one. It doesn't look right. So at one point, I say, okay, you and me, we're sitting in a room. I open up After Effects at school. I'm like, okay, here's what you do. I searched up dog.png on Google. I grabbed a random picture of a dog, and I showed him how to do the screen. I'm like, okay, first you gotta put it in here, then you gotta use corner pin to pin it into the correct corners, then you gotta 3D motion track it to make sure it stays in place, then you gotta add this effect to make it look like it's digitized, then you gotta add that effect to make it look like it's 3D, and then you gotta add that effect to make it look like it's glass, then you gotta add that effect to make it have an outline, then you gotta add that effect to make it glow a little bit, because it's light. At that point, that's when he realized how much effort I put into every single shot. And keep in mind, I didn't do one of those. I did... the original task was for me to do 3. I did 34. 34! That's 11 times more than my expected workload. I got everything done. But anyway, it's nothing like... It's not like I'm scolding them for being bad and horrible people. No. There is a genuine understanding error because of a different knowledge base there. So they're not that VFX heavy. They don't understand what goes into selling each visual effects shot. And I understand that. So I don't get angry at people when that happens. Right? And I usually I just do it as I'm told. So I'm not trying to roast them or anything. They're great people. They're great friends of mine. Ultimately, I don't think Lens turned out as good as it could have been. I don't really like the final movie. But I got the work done and it was an experience. So, there's that. Those guys, they're still my friends. They're still great people. It's just, these rants, they have to go out sometimes because that's the truth. You don't have someone who's really dedicated to making the movie look good, who's really dedicated to keep things organized on time and focuses on my own work without telling other people what to do. Unless, like, something happens, I have to step in, right? And the one time that I did step in, you call me lazy and not doing anything. You know, that is disrespectful. You know, that when you get to the bottom of it, that's disrespectful. That's all it is. But no hate, only love. You know, those guys are still my friends, and we keep doing the things we're doing.